The twisted officer pulled the pin from the grenade and hurled it into the crowd. Soldiers scattered in panic at the sight. Then a brave soldier stepped forward, using his body to shield the grenade.
Get back!
But the grenade in his arms failed to detonate. This act not only won Steve Peggy's heart, but also earned the respect of the officer who had once looked down on him.
Is this a test?
Soon the second test began. The commander ordered soldiers who had run dozens of kilometers to retrieve the flag from the top of the flagpole. The first to succeed would ride back with Peggy. The soldiers swarmed forward. But despite their best efforts, none could manage it. For 17 years, no one had ever taken down that flag. Finally, the soldiers abandoned the test. But then the frail Steve stepped forward. He pulled out the iron spike at the base of the flagpole. The pole toppled instantly. This stunned everyone present, and made Peggy fall for him. After handing the flag to the officers, Steve and Peggy drove off together. On the way back, he told Peggy about his past beatings. It was here he uttered his most iconic line.
I can do this all day.
After all the tests, Steve was selected as the war machine to fight the Nazis. But during the experiment, Steve let out a pained groan. Peggy immediately stood up and ordered the doctor to shut down the machine. But Steve said,
Don't! I can do this!
Fortunately, the final experiment was a huge success. Peggy rushed over in a panic, seeing the now taller Steve before her. She couldn't help but touch him. At this point, Steve wasn't just taller, he also possessed astonishing speed and strength. This allowed him to save Peggy in the nick of time, reigniting the spark between them.
I might, even when this is all over, go dancing.
Then what are we waiting for?
The right partner. 0800, Captain.
During a mission to defeat his arch-nemesis, Steve and Peggy shared a tender kiss, solidifying their relationship.
I'm not kissing you.
Fueled by Peggy's love and encouragement, Steve boarded the plane. A fierce hand-to-hand battle ensued. In the fray, the Red Skull attempted to harness the Cosmic Cube's power to amplify his strength, but was instantly consumed by its overwhelming energy. The Tesseract plummeted into the ocean. Meanwhile, the plane was spiraling out of control, plunging toward the city center at breakneck speed. To prevent casualties from the crash, Steve must steer the aircraft toward the open sea. As the plane began its rapid descent, Steve and Peggy shared their final heartfelt confessions.
Peggy, I'm gonna need a rain check on that dance.
Finally, Steve and the plane crashed into an iceberg. After an unknown period, Steve awoke again. He smashed through the laboratory wall and rushed onto the street, only to find himself surrounded by skyscrapers. Steve was utterly bewildered. At that moment, S.H.I.E.L.D. director Nick Fury appeared before him. Steve learned the war had long since ended, and he himself had been in a deep sleep for 70 years. But none of that mattered. What Steve regretted most was missing his Saturday dance date.